Undying is one of the scariest offlaners in Dota 2 7.39D meta, a tanky zombie summoning menace who thrives with the right support by his side. Today we'll break down 4 powerful support combos that elevate an Undying offlane from strong to downright oppressive. Rubik, Shadow Shaman, Lion. We'll explain why each pairing works well in the lane, which is basically your early game, how they synergize in mid to late game teamfights, what the duo excels at, like be it kill threat, zoning or push, and what to watch out for like weak matchups, mana issues, or cooldown dependence. The goal is a beginner friendly breakdown, perfect for low to mid MMR players while still grounded in the current meta. By the end, you'll see why these 4 supports make Undying an absolute nightmare to deal with in 7.39D. Our first combo is Undying and Rubik, a duo that combines Undying's brute strength with Rubik's finesse. In the laning phase, this pair is all about attrition and positioning. Rubik's Fade Bolt not only damages multiple enemies, it also reduces their attack damage significantly, making it much safer for Undying to trade hits. Imagine the enemy carry trying to last hit or fight back with minus 20 or more attack damage. Their retaliation becomes feeble. Meanwhile, Undying spams Decay to steal strength, cutting down the enemy health pool and right click damage, and at the same time buffing up his own damage and his health pool. If the opportunity arises, Rubik can start the party with telekinesis, lifting an enemy and throwing them back. A well-placed lift can toss an enemy into an Undying's tombstone or back under your creep wave, ensuring they are swarmed by zombies and eat a few decays on the way down. This combo has a solid kill potential at level 2 or 3. For example, Rubik lifts a target, drops them near Undying, who drops a tombstone and hits a double decay as the enemy tries to run from the zombies. Rubik's Fate Bolt and another decay seals the deal. It's a textbook setup. Minimal escape for the enemies once caught. One thing is to coordinate, be mindful of telekinesis direction, communicate whether Rubik will throw the enemy backwards toward your tower or tombstone, or simply stun in place. You generally don't want to toss the enemy out of tombstone range by accident, that could save them. With good communication though, this duo can pull off some flashy plays and first bloods. Another thing just to be mindful of the fact is that if you can actually do it, try to get the Undying to throw the tombstone first, and then if you put it directly on top of the carry or anything like that, and if the carry tries to run away, the Rubik can always pull him back with the telekinesis. So yeah, and in the mid to late game, Undying and Rubik continue to complement each other. Teamfights become chaotic when Undying drops Tombstone and pops Flash Golem, his ultimate. Tombstone litters the fight with zombies, slowing enemies, while Flash Golem causes Undying attacks to apply a plague debuff, making the target take 25% up to 35% at max level, more damage from all sources. This means any follow-up damage Rubik or any allies do is amplified. Rubik, being the Grand Magus, thrives in chaotic fights and Undying creates chaos. While enemies scramble to kill the tombstone or avoid zombies, Rubik can position freely to steal a crucial spell or land a clutch telekinesis. A great example, as Undying charges in, soaking damage, Rubik might steal a big teamfight ultimate, say Black Hole or Chain Frost, and turn it against the enemy. Even something like a Stolen Fissure or Ice Path can be game winning when the enemy is slowed and clumped by Tombstone. The duo excels at extended fights and skirmishes. They are happy to take drawn out engagements where zombies, decay stacks and multiple stolen spells can really shine. What to be cautious of? 2 main things, mana and lockdown. Both heroes need mana to function, Undying for tombstone and decay spam, Rubik for his spells, so itemize mana regen, early arcane boots or clarities, and perhaps let Undying grab a soul ring. Also, this combo has only one hard stun, telekinesis on a moderate cooldown. If you're facing very mobile enemies, or in other words slippery enemies, like a Juggernaut with Blade Fury or a highly evasive core or a blinker, kills can slip away. Make sure to coordinate ganks with teammates who have additional disables, or use Rubik's Spell Steal to add more control to your arsenal. Lastly, don't overcommit under your enemy tower without tombstone. If your tomb is on cooldown and you dive, you might lack the damage to finish kills. But overall, Rubik's versatility and Undying's durability make this a well-rounded combo for fights and a bully lane in the early stage. Next up is the popular Undying plus Shadow Shaman, a pairing that exemplifies lockdown and zone control. Many Undying spammers will tell you that Undying with a strong disabler is nearly impossible to lay against, and Shadow Shaman is proof. In lane, the strategy is straightforward: grab and grab kills. Shadow Shaman brings 2 potent disables, Hex and an instant polymorph, and Shackles, a long duration channeling hold. With Undying in the mix, these spells become even deadlier. A typical play, Shaman pings that he's going to hex the enemy carry. He moves in and instantly hexes, turning the enemy into a harmless critter for a couple of seconds. In that window, Undying drops a tombstone next to them and lands a decay or 2. As the hex wears off, Shaman follows up with Shackles, holding the target in place for about 2.5 to 3 seconds at early levels, while Undying continues to pound away and zombies surround the victim. It's a guaranteed tombstone setup. The enemies can't run or destroy the tomb while shackled, so zombies accumulate and rip them apart. Few safe laners can survive that full disable duration on top of decay stacks and zombies. It often results in a kill by level 3 to 4. Even if you don't get a kill outright, the harassment is intense. Shaman's Ether Shock nuke hits hard. 1 shock plus a decay can chunk 1/3 of a carry's HP easily, and his high base attack damage helps secure denies or last hits. Undying of course uses decay to keep the enemy low and himself tanky. This duo can also dive towers early. With Undying strength steals and Shaman's disabled, they'll even go under tier 1 towers to finish off a weakened enemy. Tombstone zombies tanking tower shots while Shadow Shaman holds the prey in place. Just to be sure to draw creep aggro before channeling Shackles, you can right click an enemy first so that the creep wave hits you instead of Undying or the tombstone. Shaman is fragile, but if he is tanking creeps and Undying is tanking the tower, everyone's spreading out the damage taken. Communication and timing are key. As Undying, let your Shaman know when you want to commit. For example, I have tomb, go hex now. Yeah, or you can just say go and he will fucking get it. You know, just ping your tomb and just go. And Shaman will coordinate which target to prioritize, usually the enemy carry. One caution, interrupts. Shadow Shaman's shackles can be broken by stuns or even too much damage. So identify if the enemy support has a stun ready. It might be wiser to start with a hex since it can't be interrupted and has no channel. If the situation looks dicey, or have Undying zone out of the second enemy so they can't easily stun Shaman during his shackle. Moving into the mid and late game, Undying and Shaman is all about objective taking and teamfight control. Shadow Shaman's Mass Serpent Ward and Undying's Tomb together turn any area into a no-go zone for enemies. Think about a mid-game push. After winning a fight or picking off an enemy, Shaman can drop his Serpent Wards and Undying places a tombstone near the enemy tower. Suddenly the tower is being sieged by a small army. Serpent Wards hitting the tower and any defenders, tombstone zombies swarming any enemy that comes near. It's a devastating push combo that transitions kills into objectives. Even in teamfights, the area denial is huge. If Undying lands a good flesh golem hit on a target, not only are they slowed by up to 40%, they also take amplified damage, which makes Shaman's Ether Shock and even the Serpent Ward attacks hit harder. A common synergy move, if Magnus or another initiator on your team lands an AoE stun, Undying drops Tombstone in the middle of the chaos and Shaman follows with the Serpent Wards on top of the stun clump. The wards will pelt the victims while zombies spawn everywhere. It's carnage. Individually, Shaman also covers one of Undying's weaknesses, lack of hard lockdown in late game fights. Undying impact is usually tombstone and aura items, but here he can rely on Shaman to lock down a crucial enemy core with hex or shackles, while the team focuses them. Conversely, Undying covers Shaman's weaknesses by providing sustain. Soul Rip can heal a Shaman if he's focused, and frontline tanking so Shaman can safely channel shackles or drop wards without being instantly killed. What to watch out for? This combo can be mana hungry. Shackle and Ether Shock have high mana cost, and Undying's Tomb or Decay spam will drain you too. Consider rushing an Arcane Boots often on the Shaman as he's the support, so you can sustain the aggression. Also, positioning is important. Shaman has no mobility and low HP. If he gets caught out, he'll die fast. Trying to let Undying go in first to soak spells, then Shaman follow up once the enemy either uses their stuns or is busy dealing with the Undying. So what I'm basically trying to imply from this is that make sure the Undying is the first point of contact, because if he's the first point of contact, generally you have to throw some spells on him first before you can move towards getting the backline, which is your Shaman. If both are on cooldown, your combo threat is much lower for that period. So avoid taking bad fights without your zone control ultimates available. But with those ultimates up, few combos can dominate a fight or siege as hard as Undying and Shaman together. The third on our list is Undying and Lion, a classic disable plus nuke pairing that brings about everything: stuns, hexes, burst damage, and sustain. In the laning stage, this duo plays somewhat similarly to Undying or Shaman, but trades some shackles duration for extra burst damage from Lion. Lion is the king of early lockdown. He has 2 low cooldown disables, Earth Spike and Hex, that can chain together for about 3 to 4 seconds of total stun time if done back to back. That's more than enough for Undying to wreak havoc. A typical kill combo would be Lion might start with Hex to instantly prevent an enemy from reacting or using escape spells. Then Undying drops Tombstone and lands a decay. As the Hex is about to end, Lion follows up with Earth Spike, impaling the enemies and potentially their lane partners as well if lined up, for a further stun while also dealing decent damage. During these disables, Tombstone is spawning zombies and Undying is right clicking with his stolen strength. By the time the enemy can move, they are often low HP swarmed by zombies. A final soul rip from Undying or right click plus Lion's passive damage from Impale will finish them off. Earth Spike into Decay into Hex can set up kills for at least force the enemy to burn regen and retreat. The beauty here is that Lion's disable make landing Decay stacks easy. It immobilizes them so they're unable to run from Tombstone. On top of that, Lion provides some mana advantage in lane with mana drain. He can sap the enemy support's mana, preventing them from using spells to harass or escape, even drain a range creep for a burst of mana. This helps Lion sustain his spell casting without constantly needing clarities, and he can also take the enemy's mana by mana draining them, and then he can also transfer his mana to the Undying by mana draining the Undying. So yeah, that's crazy. As always, coordinate your disables, communicate who Lion wants to go on, and chain them properly. Generally, Hex first is the safest for a single target kill. It ensures that they can't use an escape move. If you see an opportunity to Earth Spike multiple heroes, take it and follow with a Hex on one of them. Also be aware of diminishing returns. Early on, it might be overkill to use both disables on a squishy target. Sometimes a single stun plus decay spam is enough if they are already low. Save the second disable for anyone who tries to interfere or for chaining on a tankier hero. As the game progresses to mid and late game, the Undying and Lion combo shines in small fights and pickoffs, and holds their own in 5v5s with the right execution. This duo excels at quickly deleting a key enemy hero. Lion's ultimate Finger of Death is a massive single target nuke, and when combined with Undying's Flash Golem debuff, it's even scarier. Remember that Flash Golem causes the target to take 25% more damage at level 1 ulti from everything. If Undying manages to hit an enemy core, say the enemy mid laner, while in Flash Golem form, and Lion immediately drops a Finger of Death on the target, it can deal unexpected lethal damage, often outright killing frail heroes or bringing tougher heroes to the brink of death. For instance, if Finger would normally deal 600 damage at that stage, the Flash Golem play application makes it 750 effective damage. It's almost an instant kill combo when you add in an Earth Spike or Hex for control. In teamfights, Undying's job is to create chaos and tank, while Lion's job is to lock down and eliminate high value enemies. Undying will tombstone and slow everyone, making it easy for Lion to land a multi-hero Earth Spike. Zombies and decay slow mean enemies clump or move predictably. Lion can even initiate fights if needed. A blink Hex or Earth Spike on an enemy, followed by Undying blinking in or just walking in with Flash Golem and Tombstone, can start a favorable fight. The enemy team now has zombies to deal with, and their stunned ally is taking amplified damage. Another aspect of synergy is resource sustain. So Undying often builds items like Mechanism or Pipe in mid game, which helps Lion survive to get his spells off. Rarer now that people go with mecha, but most people will definitely either get a Pipe or a Crimson Guard, depending on what kind of damage they're facing. Undying might be a Gravekeeper, but with the right partner in crime, he becomes the Grave Maker for the enemy team. As we have seen, each of these 4 support combos brings out a different strength of Undying's kit. Rubik's Telekinesis and Stolen Spells add finesse and control to Undying's brute force approach. Shadow Shaman literally shackles enemies in place for zombies to do their work. Lion provides that sweet chain stun and burst to quickly execute targets. Each pairing dominates the lane in its own way through relentless harass, kill threat, or sheer tankiness, ensuring that the enemy carries early game is miserable. In the mid and late game, these duos can coordinate to win teamfights, be it through wombo combo setups like Tomb and Serpent Wards, or by picking off key enemies with hooks, hexes, or impales. A few parting tips: communication and itemizations are crucial. Always communicate with your lane partner, whether it's a Rubik setting up a lift or a Lion preparing to hex. Being on the same page will net far more kills. Item wise, build to cover weaknesses. If you're lacking mana, somebody get an Arcane Boots. If you're against heavy physical damage, an early armor item or heal. So Soul Rib, Mech, or I think the best right now to deal with physical damage is definitely Crimson Guard. It goes a long way. And remember to play your combos strengths. If you're an Undying player, trust your supports disable or set up and play aggressive when they give the go. If you're the support, capitalize on Undying's constant pressure. Their Decay and Tombstone can make your spells twice as deadly. So don't be afraid to initiate. By mastering these Undying and Undying plus support pairings, you'll be able to crush most safe lanes. Rack up an early lead and translate that into a mid-game dominance. Whether you're decaying their entire team's strength, chain stunning a carry from 100 to 0, the enemy will be begging for mercy. Now it's your turn to apply this knowledge into your games. Pick one of these duos, head to the offlane, and watch the enemy team crumble to dust. Good luck and have fun climbing with Undying in 7.39D.